What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Economic Events. Today I'm going to be reading an article from MarketWatch.com. So, Saudi Arabia warns oil prices could drop to $50. Basically, they're talking about not, the price of, of course, gas, but the oil barrel. So it's not, there aren't parts of the world where gas is $50 a gallon. They're just talking about the entire barrel. That's kind of how they justify the price of per gallon. So rest assured, it's not going up to $50 a gas tank, so a gallon. Saudi Arabia is warning that oil prices could drop to $50 per barrel if OPEC members like Iraq, Kazakhstan, and Russia continue to exceed their output quotas. Basically, what they're trying to say is to Iraq, Kazakhstan, and Russia, if they're supposed to, let's say, create 10,000 barrels of oil a day, those three countries are doing, let's say, 12,000. So they're doing 20% more. That's why they're worried. Saudi Arabia, here's the thing about Saudi Arabia, they're not doing this because of any other reason other than their own bottom line, their own pockets. They want to continue to grow their revenue, right? So that's what this is really about. Now, if oil drops to $50 a barrel, that's phenomenal for all of us, because then gas will be like $1.50, $2 a gallon. So it's a huge win for us, but they almost want to do not a price control, because that means that price won't be able to go up, but they want to do like a reverse price control where prices can continuously stay upwards. Is basically what their goal is here. Saudi Energy Minister Prince, give me a minute with this name, I'm going to do my best. Prince Abdul Aziz, I think I did pretty good on that. bin Salman expressed frustration with these countries' overproduction, suggesting that Saudi Arabia might abandon its unofficial $100 oil price target and engage in a price war to defend its market share. Basically, what they're trying to say is that if, again, just that example, if those three countries are doing, let's say, 12,000 barrels a day instead of their scheduled 10,000 a day, what Saudi Arabia is going to do is they're going to withhold their oil and not, if Saudi Arabia is doing, let's say, 10,000 barrels a day, they're going to drop down to, let's say, maybe 8,000 barrels a day, just to maintain price control, or at least hold theirs. It's actually a pretty good strategy, if we're being honest here, by their part, because they're going to look at it and say all these other countries will, no pun intended, burn through their oil, but we're going to be able to keep ours, and then when there's a massive shortage, we can go ahead, instead of doing it for $100 a barrel, we may be able to do it for $120 a barrel. So there is a whole strategy there. So I'm not mad at it. Everybody's got to make money. This threat comes after Saudi Arabia has been voluntarily cutting production to maintain higher prices, while OPEC members have been undermining these efforts by overproducing. So basically what it sounds like is that these other three countries, they're looking at it and saying, well, Saudi Arabia is going ahead and cutting back on their production, which means that there's going to be more demand, and that's where we come in and we start selling our oil and maybe take up some of the market share away from Saudi Arabia, and Iraq gets some, Kazakhstan gets some, Russia gets some. It's pretty interesting there. But just to give kind of a brief background of what's happened previously when oil prices have dropped. Back in 2020, I've got here in my notes, one barrel of oil during the 2020 lockdowns was under $20 a barrel. So obviously that was very cheap. I think back then gas was maybe like $1.40 or $1.50 per gallon, depending on where you lived. Of course, if you lived in California, it's still in probably the 4s, 5s, 6s, whereas if you lived in, I don't know, some part of Iowa, you probably were paying $1.10 per gallon of gas. So it's all variable depending on where you live. So that plays into it too. I don't necessarily know if this is a correlation to what Saudi's strategy is when they are talking about going ahead and cutting back oil production, because in the last 30 days, at the time of recording this video, oil, one barrel of oil is up $5 a piece. So it went from just above $68 a barrel to just above $73 in the last 30 days. So we're talking about an almost 10% increase right there in a month. So that's pretty crazy. Depending on where you live, I'm sure you've noticed there's been a bit of a jump your gasoline prices, so you may have noticed that. But let me know what you think down below in the comment section. I'm looking forward to hearing the comments about what you're thinking here. Of course, there's a Middle East conflict there, with the Israel Palestine. Then you've got, of course, Russia Ukraine going at it for the last few years. So oil prices are obviously fluctuate all the time, but whenever there's conflict like that and war, typically prices are unfortunately higher than normal. And also with the last month or so, or with the last few weeks, with you've got Hurricane Helen and Hurricane Milton destroying parts of the country or parts of the United States, because you may not live in the United States. So let me talk about you guys too. But parts of the United States has been kind of destroyed there. So that's also caused a bump in oil prices as well. So a lot of different factors there. So let me know what you think down below in the comment section. Remember to like the video, subscribe to the channel, hit that little bell next to my name. That way you get notified every time I post a brand new video. Hope you all enjoyed this one. Bye.